from Creator Up. We are back at another episode of GoPro Max tutorial. Today is all about flying your GoPro. GoPro Max with a drone to create cinematic aerial videos like the one you just saw, with tiny planet hyperlapse that I am pretty sure you have not seen before. If you've seen it somewhere else, they probably learned it here. This is one of those long and in-depth tutorials to teach you from why to how to mastery. We will first talk about just one GoPro Max on a DJI consumer drone, the Mavic Pro or Mavic Pro 2 right here. How is that gonna work? What do you need to make it work? And how to fly it safely? And what is the post-production workflow? Then we will explore two GoPro Max on a single consumer drone or professional drone like the DJI Inspire and show you the stitching result using Mistika VR. You don't need the GoPro Max to follow along with this tutorial. Any consumer 360 camera will work, including the GoPro Fusion, the Insta360 ONE X right here, and even the brand new CoolCam 8K. As a matter of fact, the intro video is mixed with GoPro Fusion and GoPro Max. So the biggest question is, which has the best stabilization on drone? Which is the deciding factor of which 360 camera you should use to achieve the smoothest hyperlapse effects. Let's go fly and do a real-world comparison test. So right now, I'm on a baseball field. What I have here is the DJI Mavic Pro. Attach the GoPro Max on the bottom with a vibration damper. And I gotta take this bird up in the sky vertically and then do a horizontal forward and backward flight to test out the stabilization of the GoPro Max. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the GoPro Fusion and Insta360 ONE X to see who has the best drone stabilization. This is the hardest thing to test. If this camera can test that machine vibration and still footage looks super smooth, meaning that this camera has the best stabilization. So we'll find out who has the best stabilization. Let's take this bird up in the sky now. So from the top to the bottom, we have GoPro Max, GoPro Fusion, and Insta360 ONE X. Not like other YouTube reviewers only show you the front of the frame with over capture. I show you the entire 360 flat out as equal rectangulars. I also draw the horizon line as the reference point so you know where things are off balance. All three cameras are on auto setting, but GoPro Max exposed to the highlight, while Fusion and ONE X exposed to the shadow. Why does that matter? Well, when in the air, half of your frame is the well-lit sky. You need to see the cloud and the sun to really feel like you are flying. Auto exposed to the highlight makes sense, then bring out the noise in the detail on the ground. You can manually set exposure if it is out of control. All three cameras take off pretty smooth. They are the best 360 cameras out in the market that have excellent stabilization. Both Max and Fusion has extra horizon leveling besides stabilization, so that is why you see the ONE X horizon line is crooked. It is an easy fix in post though, but it is an extra step you can avoid with the Max. At some point, you saw Fusion stop rising. It is because the Fusion is heavy and the DJI Mavic Pro motor is overheated and stopped the drone. In general, I would not recommend flying with the Fusion with such a long extender. It is not safe. Also, you see the horizon line of ONE X drift more than the Fusion. This can be a potential issue in post-production if your clip is long. One more point to the Max. all of them waves a little when hard stop, which is part of the test, but you should never do that in your real flight. Smooth movement is the key here. Okay, let's take a look at the horizontal movement. All three cameras again have really good stabilization. The ONE X horizon line is a little bit crooked, but it is flexible, no big deal. My real concern though, it is far object stitching. Let me move to the point so you can see. Now punch in. You see the mirror image of the pole. What's up with that, Insta360? If you film with this camera a lot, you know it is not so good when dealing with vertical lines. I think some bugs in the stitching algorithm in the ONE X that I hope in the new ONE X2 can be fixed. You can, however, fix this by recalibration in the ONE X Studio, as I teach you in this tutorial. This is one of the must-watch tutorials on overcapture, so definitely go watch it again. If you pan down to the ground and pay really close attention, you do see a stitch line dragging across the ground. It will be more obvious if you use the protected lens cover, so don't use that. Actually, don't ever use the lens cover for anything if you care about your image quality. It destroys your image like how I destroyed the lens covers. And I hope GoPro will improve their nadir and zenith stitching to solve the stitching issue, as you cannot see that on GoPro Fusion, so it must be just a glitch in early release. Now let's talk about the equipment. I personally like to use the consumer drone, the DJI Mavic Pro right here, or the Mavic Pro 2. It is pretty safe to fly just one GoPro MAX if you follow my flying instructions strictly and do not fly like an FPV in sport mode. Well, in fact, don't ever use sport mode in 260 drone flying. Then you need a mount. There are actually lots of mounts out there already after my initial video 1 year ago. I personally recommend DJI mount 3D printed attachment. I will put the link down below. They have lots of options, including spring-loaded vibration damper right here. The benefit of using DJI mount is they are very light, so no extra weight on your drone. And they are very easy to buy and fast to ship. There are probably 3D blueprint out there on the internet somewhere. If you have a 3D printer, you can print this yourself. Even though DJI mount is light and easy to use for both your Mavic Pro or Mavic Pro 2, I use my friend's Luke design as you see right here. We tested on all the 260 camera and find this design provide the most stabilized result on even the Insta360 ONE X. Lots of YouTube reviewers said that the Insta360 ONE X has the same or even better stabilization than the GoPro MAX right here. That is simply not true. None of them has nearly enough 260 filming experience to back their statements up. I will have an official review video out soon between the ONE X and the MAX. I'm taking my time to give you the best review instead of like everybody else trying to get the initial review to be the first one on YouTube. I make content to really help my subscribers to give them the most accurate information instead of gaining views or new subscribers by playing the first game. Creator Up is all about giving our viewers quality video content. Anyway, using the DJI mount or any mount on the Mavic Pro 2 with the Insta360 ONE X will create rolling shutter problem around the stitch line. Here is a 360 commercial project I did in Kauai with the ONE X. Most of our drone footage is unusable as you can see right here. I actually created a 360 sight and sound VR episode with the exact problem. You can see the problem in the VR headset by following the link right here. We need to switch to GoPro Fusion to finish the job. We lost lots of time and money because of that issue. So never blindly believe the advertisement. Test it with your own setup to see if it works for you. If it is GoPro MAX, both mounts work great as long as the extender is reasonable. GoPro MAX does really good on dirt bike, on jet ski like right here, on ATV like this one, and for the drone. it can handle machine vibration really well. If you are flying the ONE X, I will only recommend Luke mount with the professional made vibration damper. I will put the Facebook group link down below and you need to hit Luke up to make one for yourself. It is unfortunately custom made. If you see the same problem on even the GoPro MAX, that means you need vibration dampers. After the attachment, you need some kind of extender. I simply use TWO GoPro extender comes with my GoPro Hero 4, which give me a good length, or I use this one, which is pretty good and give me a really good length as well to remove the drone in post-production. I will test it in your particular setup to find the right length without causing the pendulum effects, and easy enough for you to remove it in post-production. More on that later. How to fly. You will need to learn hand takeoff and hand catching, which is really easy with the DJI Mavic Pro 2. With the bottom sensor turned off, it is even easier. So it is optional to turn off your bottom sensor, both the DJI mount without dampers or the one I use does not trigger bottom sensor air. So I usually just leave it on for extra safety. Here's how I take off. So the camera now the camera start recording and the drone's ready to take off. So I'm gonna do a takeoff. Let go. For hand catching, if you hold your hand steady and let the drone hover on your hand for a couple of seconds and then press down, it will land on your palm, which is very easy when you have so many attachments. So don't use your hand to grab it, it will land on your hand. Let it land on your hand naturally. Hand catching it. Okay, that's when it's done. Let's go check out the other camera. Even though this video is all about overt capture with 360 camera on drone, the biggest use of 360 camera on drone is for 360 video. Those ones that you can pan around on YouTube or Facebook, or watch it on your VR headset, which is this channel really about. So to learn cinematic drone movement with 360 cameras, you should first check out this tutorial right here. After that tutorial, this tutorial will be a piece of cake. So again, you are not flying a FPV. Even my end result look like one. It is all done in post-production. Your drone movement has to be slow and steady. If you do not have a steady hand and not used to capture regular cinematic drone video, or you are one of those FPV guys, I would recommend you use the tap to fly feature on DJI Remote to set a constant speed and direction to fly a straight line. Very important. Never fly straight. You turn your camera in post-production using GoPro FX Reframe plugin. That is a 360 camera. You control where the camera sees in post-production, not during your flight. If you just remember that, you become a better pilot than 99% of the people out there who try to fly a 360 camera. Again, this is not a drone pilot course. I assume you know how to fly a drone and have your license already. If you don't, you should do that first before flying any 360 cameras. Flying with TWO GoPro MAX. So why you need to fly with TWO GoPro MAX, up and down? Well, this is more for 360 video when you want to fly indoor and cannot use sky replacement or rotoscoping in After Effects to remove the drone, which is detailed in this tutorial. So for indoor and low altitude flight, you have to use two MAX or two of the same kind of 360 cameras that are light enough. So can it be done with just a Mavic Pro 2 right here? Let's find out. So right now I gotta do something crazy. As you see here, we have the DJI Mavic Pro 2 right here with two GoPro Max camera, one on top with the DJI mount right here, and then on my custom mount right here at the bottom. So with two GoPro Max upside down, and then I'm gonna fly this and see if it actually can take off. If this works, we can actually do indoor flight to capture everything around us and put them together so the drone will disappear in post. Let's try it and see if it actually works. So now we take a lens cap off, and this time it's the first ever fly with two GoPro Max on DJI Drone. Hopefully it works, don't break my camera. Okay. Let's take off. Okay, let's do this. It's very stable. So both cameras are recording right now. Here is the end result. It is still really rough, but as you see, the drone is gone completely. We stitched two GoPro Max together with optical flow using Mistika VR. You still see the optical flow artifacts because the blades of the drone really mess up the matching, but the result is acceptable with some cleanup in After Effects. We can actually reproject the top camera and the bottom camera to different spheres in Mistika boutiques, kinda like Nuke but way cheaper. So we can remove the stitching artifacts even more by choosing where to merge. This is very advanced stuff. It shows my skill level and my dedication to my professional viewers and find creative solution for the 360 VR industry. I'm not just some random YouTuber trying to gain subscribers because of this new fancy camera. I'm very serious about my craft in 360 VR and only deliver the best content to my followers. Thank you for watching part 1 of this tutorial. Well, actually, this is part 3 of the GoPro Max series. Go back and watch part 1 and part 2 if you miss it. In the next video, we are going to go in Adobe Premiere and After Effects to teach you how I created the intro video you saw with GoPro FX Reframe plugin, how I remove the drone, and most importantly, how I create those cinematic drone movement completely in post-production with Tiny Planet morphing and timed it perfectly with the music. This is not done with the time warp, which is the GoPro native feature that does not look cinematic at all. There is no speed ramping or slow motion in the time warp feature, and no motion blur. By the way, the same as the Insta360 ONE X mobile app, they are also not cinematic looking. Look at the official Insta360 video compared to what I created. Yes, you can create cinematic video with the Insta360 ONE X, but not through the free mobile app. And yes, you will not learn any of these techniques from anywhere else. These are techniques I spent years to develop as a professional 360 videographer. So, what are you waiting for? If it is out, click the next video in the description below. If it's not, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when this is released. While you're at it, hit the like button, leave a comment below, and share this video. Help this channel to survive as I work for you. Help you to get better in all things 360 VR. I will see you next time.
Hey, this is Mark Christopher Lawrence. Go and watch my comedy VR special, the first of its kind. There are no other comedy VR specials. You watch it on this thing. The link is right here. Go, watch it. Don't make me come over there. Cut!